Welcome back, guys. We are back with another video. Today we're talking about mindset. Mindset is the most important foundational element of all of your success, personally and professionally. It doesn't matter how good your effort is, it doesn't matter what good your skills are, it doesn't matter what business you're in, what job you're in. If your mindset's not in the right place, you just simply won't get to the level of success you want to get. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to reprogram your mindset. Your mindset's what's going to determine your level of action. It's going to determine your level of clarity, determine your level of confidence. It really is 80% of all your success because, even for you to get up in the morning and take the action, you have to have the right mindset. And there's such a broad spectrum of things that apply, that fall under the umbrella of mindset. There's so many things to think about. I'm going to give you a couple of the most important ones in this video today. And unfortunately today, there's a lot of overused, too common cliches around mindset. Think positive, set goals. I'm not here to tell you about that stuff, okay? That's nonsense, it's illusion. I'm going to get into that later. Let's start first about, why the mindset's so important. But without it, you're just not going to get, just like the language video, you're not going to get what you want unless you're able to speak and move people. You're also not going to get what you want unless you have the right mindset. Because before actions come feelings. So if you don't feel like doing something, you're not going to do it. How many of you guys in sales, you make follow-up calls when you feel like it? You make the calls in the first place to the new client when you feel like it. Okay? You feel like going to the gym, you go to the gym. You don't feel like going to the gym, you don't. You feel like cooking, you cook. You don't feel like cooking, you order pizza. Everything comes back to how you feel, and that's determined mostly by your mindset, about how you think, about how you speak. So it's very important to get your mindset in the right place. So it determines how you feel every day. And how you feel every day is going to determine exactly the kind of actions you take. Now, there is a point where you want to override the feelings, okay? And that's when you have a really clear vision, when you have a purpose, when you're anchored into action on a daily basis. It doesn't matter how you feel. When you're burning hot, alive, consumed, obsessed with a vision, you're going to be pulled through that. It doesn't matter how you feel, okay? But for most people, the mindset is still a critical part of what they do and what they don't do. So what are some of the things you can do now to help your mindset? The first step is to understand what makes you you. Understand who you are. I talked about this in the communication and influence video as well. You need to know who you are. Okay, you need to know what your lane is. And part of your mindset is getting clear on who am I? Who am I really? Where am I going in my life? Who am I becoming? Who do I want to become? Okay, what do I want my future to look like? What kind of man or woman do I want to be? This is the first step in getting clear on your mindset, because you don't know what's needed for your mindset, how you should think, how you should speak, how you should talk to yourself, unless you know who you are in the first place. I always say clarity leads to confidence, okay? And curiosity leads to clarity. You have to be curious. You have to start asking new questions. What makes me me? What are my gifts? What's my mission? And you might say, what does that even mean? What's my mission? Well, your mission is what you're here to do. I believe it's what you do best with the least amount of effort. I believe it's what lights you up. I believe it's the gifts God gave you. Okay, it's how you can serve. It's how you can contribute to other people. And it sounds funny and cliche, but it's how do you make the world a better place? You make the world a better place by living in your gifts. Living in your gifts. Write that down in your book. I hope you have a blank new book for all these videos, all these nuggets of gold I'm giving you. Okay, so you got to start at that first place. Awareness is the key. Forget discipline, forget goals, forget thinking positive. Awareness. Who am I? Who do I want to be as a person? Okay, who do I want to be as a man or a woman? What kind of life do I want to live? How do I want to impact people? How do I want to impact people? Who am I? Okay, am I an employee or am I an entrepreneur? Am I a visionary or am I a realist? Do I want to play big or do I want to play small? What arena do I want to be in? What industry do I want to be in? Do I want to work with people or do I want to be locked at home in the basement on a screen or in an office on a screen? Do I want to be social or do I want to be unsocial? Am I healthy or am I not healthy? Am I driven or am I apathetic and lazy? You have to discover first who you are. That's the self-reflection piece. That's the honesty piece. That's the truth. I call it finding your truth. If you want to hear some of my, not just video, but my words in newsletter form, you can subscribe to my newsletter. It's called Speak Your Truth, because you got to speak your truth. Okay, that's the first piece of mindset, is understanding who you are. Get clear on just who am I? Ask some new questions. To get to a new destination, you have to ask some new questions. Okay, so the first piece is clarity. Let's get clarity on who you are first. Number two, the second step to shifting your mindset, very, very important. Okay, something you probably haven't heard before, but you got to search for what you truly want. Because the big trap most people fall into, I see it for years working with people, is they have ideas of what they think they want. They have ideas of what they think they want, but they don't know what they truly want. So I want you today to start to really dig deeper into, what do I want? Most people choose the surface level stuff. I want to be rich. I want to be successful. I want a Lamborghini. I want to be able to retire at 40. All these illusions that you think you wanted, you don't want really. Okay, most of those things you want are just for validation, to make you feel better about yourself. We all do it, okay? For us guys, usually it's girls. Girls give us validation, okay? Or money, success give us validation. For men and women, the same recognition. As oftentimes the recognition is more valuable and more interesting to the person than money. That's why in most companies, when I work with CEOs and I work with the board, we always talk about creating that culture of recognition, because that's what drives people. That's what drives people more than the money, sometimes the recognition, the validation. Because maybe they haven't got it since they were kids from their family, their parents, and most importantly, they haven't given it to themselves. Okay, that's why you have to validate yourself. You cannot be waiting for the world to validate you. But that's all the things you think you want. That's really what you're seeking, is validation. It's approval, it's recognition, it's some level of status. Okay, we do it all the time. That's why people buy the purse, the Louis Vuitton, the Chanel purse. Yeah, it looks cool, but it's really because of the validation. It's because of what it means. The Rolex, the iPhone, the fancy car, whatever it is. You don't need an iPhone. You don't need to spend so much. There's phones that are much cheaper. You don't need a Lamborghini or a Bentley or Rolls Royce. There's cars that are much cheaper. But because of what it means, what it gives us, the feeling, that's why we want it. Okay, but ultimately what you're truly looking for, none of those things will give you. Okay, so you can have a nice feeling driving a nice car. You can have a nice feeling staying in a nice hotel, wearing nice clothes, flying business class or first class. I like all those things too. I love all those things. However, none of those things and no other person will give you what you're truly looking for, which is the recognition within yourself. Okay, the recognition within yourself of who you are, that you're enough, that you're good enough, that you're somebody, that you deserve to be here, that you're meant to be here, that you're here for a reason. That's what you're truly looking for. That inner child within you is looking for that recognition that I'm enough. So I have memories of being 5 or 6 years old with other kids, or in school, or visiting other kids and friends, and they have other kids in the neighborhood, and you feel like I'm not part of this group. I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough with the sport. I'm not good enough with this. We all have these things. Or maybe your brother or sister got the attention, you didn't get the attention. Okay, maybe you got too much attention, you were spoiled, and your other sibling didn't get the attention. There's all of these things. Even if you had a good childhood, there's all of these things that affect your understanding of who you are and what you want. But I promise you, all those external things you're seeking, they're not going to get you. They're not going to satisfy you. They're not going to soothe your soul. That boyfriend or girlfriend is not going to soothe your soul. They're going to give you a temporary distraction. That shopping, that eating, that drinking, that whatever else you're doing, it's not. It's a temporary distraction. And distraction is for protection, because you don't actually want to feel the feeling of acknowledging all these things, because it's messy, it's uncomfortable, and your brain is going to say, no, we're out of here. This is uncomfortable. And because you don't understand the value of it or the vision, the purpose of it, you just, okay, let me eat, let me drink, let me go out, let me go on these dates, let me buy these things, let me complain, let me scroll. It's all distraction. So one of the key parts of the mindset is, what do I truly want? You want to seek it out. Okay, you want to seek and you shall find, right? Ask, you shall receive, knock, it shall be open to you. It's as old as time. Nothing I'm saying today is new. I just hope I'm saying it in a way that lands different with you, that hits you different. You got to find out what you truly want. Next up is letting go of the stories and beliefs you have. Letting go of the stories about what you're capable of. Letting go of the stories that you held on to since you were a child. So many people I work with, entrepreneurs, are trying to break through that next level of income. And I always say, to increase your net worth, you have to increase your self-worth. Most of us are capped by unconscious beliefs about what our parents did, what our family did, what people in our community did, people from our country did and can do. We're limited unconsciously by what we've seen since we're children. Now, some people go in the opposite direction. That's why they find massive success early, because they say, I don't want this. I don't want what they had. I want more. And that's their fuel that drives them. But for most people, I would say they're capped. Okay, they're capped. They're like in those cars, the Bugattis, how they used to cap the top speed. Your top speed is capped by your perception of your value, of your worth, by the stories you've been telling yourself, by who you were in school, who you were in college, who you are in your family. So you want to start to recognize, identify, what are the stories that I've been believing about myself? What are some of the things I think most often? because the opposite of that pattern is the solution to the problem. The opposite of those thoughts is the way of the new feeling, new emotion. So you have to first, again, curiosity leads to clarity, clarity leads to confidence. When you can start to recognize, I don't need to believe all these things. I don't need to carry these thoughts, these feelings, these fears anymore. Okay, most of the stories are fears. It's ultimately fear. And if you've been repeating those stories over and over again, you're like, some of the way you speak to yourself, you'd never let somebody else speak to yourself. Okay, and that's just the conscious ones. What about the unconscious ones? What about the stories that are just playing all the time? It's like when you have the radio on in the kitchen, you got the TV on in the background, you got some video playing on YouTube, and you're cooking or you're cleaning or you're on the phone, it's in the background. You don't even recognize that it's there. Most of your stories are like that. Most of your stories are playing in the background. And because the world is keeping you in distraction mode, you're looking at all the shiny lights around you. And you're not looking at actually what's playing in the background. Okay, so I want you to start making decisions. I'm going to look for what's playing in the background of my subconscious. What's deep down playing? What's playing all the time? What's the song I'm singing day in, day out about the type of relationship I deserve? Do I even deserve someone? Can I be in a healthy relationship? Some of you guys don't even believe you can ever find someone. You can. But firstly, you don't need someone because nobody's going to suit your soul. But life is better shared. You can find someone and someone can find you. But you got to be able to recognize in yourself first that you have unconscious beliefs that are stopping you. You don't need to learn how to love. You need to let go of everything that's blocking love. Okay, you don't need to learn how to have respect. You need to remove everything that's causing disrespect. Okay, so you want to start to question all these things about what you really deserve. How much money can you make? You're probably singing a song all the time. I can't do that. I could never start a business. I'm not entrepreneurial. I could never be a leader. I wouldn't like to get the promotion. Limiting beliefs. I had them myself. Social media, I don't like social media. I don't like recording on a camera. Then I had to get over myself and say, hey, I can reach way more people. I can impact more people. I can be valuable to millions of people. Millions. Why should I settle for hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands? Why shouldn't I go for millions, hundreds of millions? That's why we're here. Next step, number 4, look for your limiting beliefs. Okay, limiting beliefs. I do an exercise with all my clients where we draw a line down the center of a page and we have perceived limits on the top left and real limits on the top right. And what you'll find is most people have a full list of perceived limits and almost nothing on the real limits side. So you got to work on your limiting beliefs. What do you believe to be true about you? Same, it's connected to the last point about the stories you're telling yourself. Even in the word belief, there's another word in the middle. It's called lie. L-I-E, right in the middle of the word belief. And most of your beliefs are lies. They're just stories you've told over and over again. So limiting beliefs are like having a scarf over your eyes. There's opportunities all around, everywhere you go, but you're not seeing them. You have that scarf over your eyes, which is a limiting belief scarf. Forget Louis Vuitton, limiting belief, LB, not LV. Okay, so you need to take that scarf off. You need to remove these limiting beliefs. You just have to be willing to question the beliefs. An unquestioned mind leads to suffering. An unquestioned belief becomes your reality. I'll say that again for those in the back. An unquestioned belief becomes your reality. If you don't question the belief, that's your reality. Next point. You have to reprogram, literally reprogram, rewire your thoughts and your language. You have to change your patterns of thinking. You have to change the way you speak. Now, your mind is an antenna. It receives thoughts. You have to learn how to slow that down and how to change that. And we'll do another video on that because we can go deep into that. But just by noticing, the first thing I'm going to tell you today, the first place to start is just to notice where your mind goes. I want you to notice the thoughts. I want you to be a witness. I want you to be an observer. I want you to zoom out and observe, just like you watch Netflix. I want you to watch the thoughts that are going through your mind. I want you to notice where your mind goes. Everybody tries to go and change the thoughts. You cannot change the thoughts. You have to first notice the thoughts. You have to observe. You have to recognize the pattern. You have to look at the program. Then you can disable it and reprogram it. And it's the same with the language. With the language, you want to make sure that you're not speaking casually. Jim Rohn said it best, casualness leads to casualties. If you're casual with your language, it's going to lead to a casualty. What's the casualty? The death of your spirit, the death of your energy, the death of your dream, okay? The death of your vision, the death of everything that's possible in your life. Don't be casual with your language. Casualness leads to casualties. Be aware of what you're speaking. Be aware of how you're speaking. Okay, you have to watch your language. You cannot speak about I'll try, I hope, it's things are expensive, I can't do it, I need this, hopefully. All of these casual words that are affecting your energy, affecting your thoughts, affecting your emotions, they're affecting the actions you take. Okay, so I have all my clients, they write down a list of words that they have to remove from their vocabulary. Like need, you don't need. When you say I need, you're implying a lack of choice. You do have a choice. You always have a choice. So you don't need, you want, I will, I am. Not I need. I need to get up early. I need to be better with money. I need to stop eating that junk food. I need to start doing this. I need to stop doing this. You're constantly beating yourself down into the ground and you're removing all opportunity to choose. You're removing your power, your autonomy, your strength, your independence. So you gotta be very careful with your language. Don't be casual. Try is obvious. I'm not even gonna say try, can't. If you say I'll try, you're saying I'm not going to. Forget try, do or don't. Okay, so there's a load of words there that, you know, that are holding you back. The biggest point, and we'll do a video maybe on that. Let me know in the comments if you want a video on words to cut out and words to put in. But basically, don't be casual with your language. Watch how you're speaking. Are you complaining all the time? Okay, it's time to stop complaining. Don't waste your time complaining. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to fix anything. So no more complaining. Okay, talk about solutions. If you're a leader, if you're in a business, you're a business owner, don't be complaining to the staff and don't have the staff complaining to you. Okay, be aware of how you're speaking. It's very, very important. It's so important to be aware how you're speaking. How do you talk to your friends? How do you talk to the family? What are the conversations coming in and what's the conversation coming out? This is all going to shift your mindset. Because if you're listening to 5 people talk about money and success and big vision and big dreams, it's going to affect you. If you're talking about people who are complaining about how bad things are, complaining about the government, complaining about the weather, complaining about business, complaining about how hard things are, they're going to infect you. So do you want to be affected or infected? Now, some of you are infected in lots of ways. We're not going to talk about that today. But you want to be affected and you want to affect people. And you don't want to infect people with your negativity. Be very aware of your language. I mean, I could talk about this all day. So your thoughts and your language, you have to reprogram, rewire. Last point, you got to create a vision that moves you. Okay, a vision that's going to pull you forward, a vision that's going to anchor you into action every single day. Again, most people lack a vision. I told you earlier, people have ideas of what they think they want. I want this, I want that. You don't want it. They're superficial, shallow wants. You want a vision that you feel in your body. You want a vision that moves you. It's alive within you. It consumes you. That's a vision. A vision is a North Star. Okay, it's something that every day you wake up, you're being pulled towards that vision. It truly consumes you. It's alive within you. That's a vision. It excites you. Okay, so it should be clear, it should be specific, and it should be emotionally charged. The vision will shift your mindset because it's going to be so exciting and it's going to pull you. It's going to be so magnetic. It's going to help you do all the things we talked about today. It's going to help you figure out who you are, where you're going, who you want to be. It's going to help you figure out what you truly want. It's going to help you figure out what your limiting beliefs are. Be more aware of your thoughts, your language. The vision is going to help you put a mirror on you so you can literally look at everything and see exactly who I am, how I'm performing, how I'm thinking, how I'm feeling, how I'm acting. Okay, it's going to be a reflection. The vision is going to shine a light on where you need to look. Okay, so create that vision so you can really get a rock solid mindset. So that's just a couple of points on the mindset today, guys. Make sure you pause the video and you go back and you write these down if you haven't already. You have to write it down because people forget, but paper remembers. Write it down. It goes deeper within when you write it down. Let me know in the comments which one you like the most or which one you struggle with the most. And again, if you like this video, guys, share it. Okay, it's going to help me. It's going to help you. It's going to help the person you share it with. It's a win-win-win. Everybody wins. I'll see you in the next video.